Trudy Talks, or welcome back. If you are returning for this week's episode, I'm really glad that you're here. It is hot here in Illinois. We're talking like close to hell hot, I think. At the minute it is 33 degrees, which is around 90 something, 93, 94 Fahrenheit, which is just too much. It's just too much. You're probably wondering why I've got a jumper on. It's because I have to stay in the house most of the time, because literally it is heat advisory kind of stuff. We are cooking over here. It is just super hot. When I go out to water my plants, it's like you're out there for 5 minutes and it's just mind-blowing how hot it is. And I know all you people that wish that you had lovely temperatures, it is really good to have that lovely warmth, or you get out of the car and it just hits you up the face, but after like 5 seconds you just need to get back into an air-conditioned car or an air-conditioned house. So but we're never happy. It's either too cold or raining, or it's too hot. So yeah, I shouldn't be complaining. It just means that you gotta pay attention to more things. You have to be sure to stay hydrated and all those things. So yeah, it is super hot. We have a guest here at the minute from France, and so this episode is not going to be as long as they usually are. Plus, I know some of you are saying it's far too long anyway, but apparently I could talk too much now. So yes, our guest is here, and we're really happy that she is here as well. It's nice to have 2 kids in the house again, so I miss my boy. But yeah, that is how this week is shaping us up for us. I am loving the fact that every day I wake up and I literally look out my window, or when I'm making coffee, I look out the front at a lake and I think to myself, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe that this is my life. I can't believe that I have finally found the place that I'm supposed to live in, the place where my feet are supposed to be, and the rest of me. I genuinely can't believe it, and I've said often that it feels like a reward almost, and if I was still inclined to care about things like the Bible, and it's obviously still in there somewhere, you do have moments with that really troubling story of Job, and it's a really troubling story. Obviously it's a metaphor or a parable or whatever you want to call it, but I remember being really troubled by the fact that God kind of gave Job over to the devil or whatever, Satan, to really have at it with Job. And I used to find it like so troubling. You're like, why would God do that? But yeah, it's that parable about no matter what happens in your life, that God will take care of you, and you'll have more than you ever thought possible. You'll give back the years the locusts have eaten and all that kind of stuff. And at the minute I'm not inclined to think like that, but I can't help to still have those thoughts in my head of, although I can't turn to God and say, wow, look what you've done, and I just can't. I can't do it. My brain doesn't let me. It's just so much. There's just so many trigger things, because, and this is total honesty, because I don't even think I've shared this. For me, the breakdown of my relationship with God came from the fact that I felt like as a father, he let me down and more or less said, have at it, for people that were supposed to love him to do what they wanted to do to me, and there was no consequence to that. So the breakdown in my relationship with God is the fact that I felt like he abandoned me. Now, I don't need your comments. I've heard it all, and actually before hearing it all, I know it. I know what you're going to say. I know what I know the rhetoric, I know the verses, I know all the things, so I don't need you to tell me them in the comments. But what I will say is that no matter how much you know, the fact that the trauma has caused so much damage and that you cannot reconcile the place with the person, the difference of who God is to what is supposed to be his home, his people, it's too hard. And I did it for so many years trying to reconcile it. I spent so much time just plodding on, hoping that if I just kept going, that I wouldn't have to address the fact that I was so disappointed, that I felt that God abandoned me and left me threw me to the wolves. That's probably the best way to put it. And I think it would have been really different if it had been handled in a different way. And that's why it's really important for me to tell my story, because there are consequences of everything. And no, nobody will stand with me if what I ever believe is true, and I'll stand before God, and nobody will stand with me. I'll have to give account for myself. I'll have to give account for all of the choices that I made in regards to God and having a relationship with God, and no one else will stand with me. But in the same way, I know that the Bible also talks about the account that some people will have to give that is much more than I will have to give. And that it says it really clearly in the Bible. So yeah, I don't know. That's how I got here. That's how I think the way I do. It's how I actually am really, really happy with who I am as a person. I'm a nice person. I do kind things for people. I cheer people on. I hope for the best for people, because like, why would you do anything else? Why would you ever hope for people's downfall? My brain, I cannot comprehend that. I'll never be able to comprehend that, because I'm not built that way. But what I am built for is justice. And although I doubt very much I'll ever see it for me, I don't think there'll ever be a moment where there's a recognition of what took place, because there's just some types of people that will never look inside themselves long enough to find out where they went wrong, because it's tough. It's the hard stuff. It's the hard work. So I don't know how I get onto this one, but I think basically what I was going to say was, yeah, I'm going to give you an update on Michael Tait. And I knew from the minute the first 3 victims came out with their stories that there was going to be more. And there was. And there was 6 more men who came forward last week. And then this past week, we just took it up a notch where the depravity of this human is concerned. There are some words that I actually can't say on YouTube, so you'll know what the words are, but I actually can't say them. So this week there was accusations of a woman who says that she was drugged, and that Michael Tait watched as she was raped. I'm going to just use that, and that sounds like a funny word, but it's not funny. None of it's funny. There's actually video footage. I would put it in the notes from this episode, but really I don't want to. So if you want to go and find it, Julie Royce has it on her YouTube. But in that video, It's actually from a hotel room, or sorry, a hotel corridor just outside a room, and there is footage of Michael Tait laughing with this accused attacker after he's taken this girl into the room. He is laughing and being very close to him. He is fondling him. They are laughing, and then both of them go into the room with this girl where she says a horrific attack took place, and he watched. Honestly, I don't really know what else to say other than, why is he not in prison? Why is this man not in prison? Off the back of that, Newsboys, the band that he left in January after 15 years. Poor wee Newsboys. Poor wee Newsboys. Newsboys have been dropped by their Christian music label, which is Capital Christian Music Group, and they announced it to the crowd at Elevate Music Festival in Arizona. They also said, look, we've been dropped. Like radio stations have pulled our music, and they got a big awe from the crowd and all that kind of crap that you get from a bunch of Christians who just think, oh, well, you're lovely, you're doing a ministry. So yeah, they stood on the stage and got everybody feeling sorry for them. But yet the same, again, Adam McGee or something his name is, don't care. He's now the lead singer of the band, was in the band, now he's the lead singer. He got a promotion because there's always power moves everywhere, but poor Adam is just reaping a whole load of crap that has been left behind. But here's the thing, he also had said that in January Tait had told them that he had some struggles, and that he wanted help. So obviously he left the band in January, and that's all we heard really, wasn't it? You know, he just got to leave the band. Now they say that they didn't know about all this salacious stuff and the situations that were being reported on by the Roy's Report and the Guardian. They had no idea. They had no idea that this had happened. But whatever he did tell them, you know, they just let him just walk on out of the way and go and get the help that he needed. But when you watch this video of him in that hotel corridor, you see what he is, you see who he is, you see the way he gets on, and you think, how many decades has this man been getting away? Well, we know it's a long time. And I refuse to believe that people didn't know about it. What we do know about the accusation from the woman is that the Newsboys tour manager allegedly covered it all up. Oh, cover-ups. Nice job. Look, you saved the reputation of Jesus and ministry for everyone. Well done. Who gives a care about that poor girl whose life has been forever altered? And that girl, that woman, that grown woman, that grandmother, hopefully, they'll never get away from it. You've been violated so much, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually. It's a violation of your person. And it's horrific, absolutely horrific. To be fair, he's been a very deceptive person for a really, really long time. If his band members in both bands did not know a thing about what he was doing, nobody will be able to tell me that they didn't. No one. Supporting the survivors, helping the wounded and the broken, standing up when something is wrong, highlighting behaviours that are illegal, immoral, without integrity. That is the stuff that God is interested in. Not the covering up, the lack of response, or giving no justice to the victim. He's not interested in that. Like, it's not rocket science. If you guys are leaders or pastors or heads of music industry, Christian music industry labels, if you're going to stick the word Christian, pastor, or anything before your elder, before your name, you better understand what you're there to do. That's not to cover up. It's not to let bad behavior carry on. It's not to ignore abuse. It's to do the right thing. Anyway, so that's that update on Michael Tait. I don't like to talk about him. I don't want to talk about him. That's all I have on that. I also had some messages this week from a girl who shared a little bit more of her story with me that I didn't know. And to say that I wept reading it took me 30 minutes to read it. Took me 30 minutes to read through. Basically, it was like journals that she kept when she had remembrances of what had taken place over like a 30-year period, which is a really long time. It's a really, really long time to have that kind of abuse continue in your life. And that's like half your life. Not quite, but like half your life. Imagine the trauma of that. Imagine trying to get through the rest of your life. And I said to her, I'm not going to tell you that you were brave in sending me this. I'm not going to tell you that you're brave for taking the steps that you have. I'm going to tell you that I'm glad that you survived. And it still makes me upset thinking about it, because if it had been me, I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have survived. And the sad thing for me is I think that there are certain people that if they read her story, their first thought would not be compassion or what can we do to get justice for this girl and what she's been through. Their first reaction would be, how do we cover this up so people don't think that this is who we are, when it is who you are. That's the sad bit for me, and it's probably one of the first things that I thought, because I know they would cover it up. I know they would do their best to make it go away. I know that's what they would do. So yeah, that was a tough read this week. And I'll never share her story because it isn't mine to share. I hope that one day she shares it. Because it's important. It's important for her. It's important for other people to know. We're talking about somebody else who should be in prison for what they did to her, and many others. But it's being covered up, as things often are in these environments and these movements. It's being covered up. That's disgusting. I said a lot. Anyway, what I was saying earlier on, it's like an ADHD YouTube this. Kind of go from one thing to the next. What I wanted to say in regards to this channel. When I started it, I wanted a place to be able to say what I needed to say. Because I never had, in my own words, I never sat down and said, this is what happened. This is the damage it caused. This is the outcome. I never got to do that. And I've said it before in previous episodes, but being silent is like a killer. It's a killer. And I was done being silent. So that's what the channel is for. That's what it was for. It was that, that opportunity to be able to tell my side of the story. There's so much more to my story, and over many years, and it's funny because my children know everything that has happened to me, and I mean everything. We have talked about it all. We have always had a dialogue in our home that is, let's talk about the hard stuff and the good stuff, and let's keep that kind of 80-20. let's keep the good stuff being 80%, and the 20%, which is the tough stuff, still got to talk about it, but let's keep that balance, which is not 50-50. So in regards to this channel, this is the tough stuff, and it's a lot, and nobody wants to talk about the same thing all the time, and I'm not going to talk about the same thing all the time, and it says it in my description. I am going to talk about the movies that I'm watching. I'm going to talk about the places that we go on holiday, or the places that we go to for a weekend. I'm going to talk about all of those things. I'm going to talk about how grateful to whoever I am that this is my life now. Going to talk about the music that I am listening to. I'm going to talk about some pop culture stuff because I love it. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch some incredible, just incredible channels of content creators that are better than TV. They just are. They're just better than TV. And they inspire me all the time. And so every day I have specific people that I watch, and yeah, I follow a lot of stories. I follow a lot of things. So I'm going to talk about all the good things too. So at the minute, we've kind of moved past the 20% kind of situation with the bad stuff. I will touch on stuff that really grabs my attention, like this Michael Tait stuff. I will always be talking about making sure that victims and the broken are taken care of. And yeah, I won't forget about that. And I will tell you parts of my story from the past as well. I wanted to end this with a couple of funnies and a couple of things that I really am enjoying at the minute, okay? I did say this was going to be shorter, but it's not. It's just not going to be shorter. I wanted to share a quick perimenopausal symptom. Men, you don't need to turn off. It's going to be okay. I'm going to make light of perimenopause because nobody wants to be too serious. Because it is literally the worst. It is the worst. It's so tough. It's super, super tough being a woman and going through these types of things. And then on top of it, you got to deal with like just patriarchy and all that crap. I don't deal with it in my house because that is not my husband. It's the very opposite of my husband. But yeah, it's just not that much fun being a woman in her 40s going into your 50s, okay, in regards to those things. And do you know what the thing is? You just got to get on with it. You just got to live your life. You got to keep on doing the things that you do. And we do. We keep on doing it. But sometimes it takes us a little longer, or we do really stupid things like I did this week. So the other day I got the bread out of the pantry, made some toast, had that for my lunch, and then I had to take our daughter to the dentist, so I did that. And then my husband asked me the next morning if I had, well, really, he said, who put the new loaf in the bin? And I'm thinking to myself, I definitely used that. So yeah, it turned out that the brand new loaf, I literally took the bread out of it, walked into the utility room to put it back in the pantry and put it in the bin instead. Because, I mean, where else would you put it? So yeah, I put it in the bin. This is the other symptom for me that is the weirdest, because I actually am not an angry person, just in general. Anger is not kind of my go-to. I don't really need to. Righteous anger, yeah, I get like this when there's injustice or bad things happen to people. Oh, it makes me so angry, makes me so cross. But just like general anger for no reason is just not me. It's not my mom either. I'm more like her. But there's this rage. Perimenopausal rage. People, if you know what I'm talking about, please put it in the comments. But there's like the indicator was on for like a second longer than it should be the other day, and there was just this rage that built up in me of like it never actually makes its way out, but I could feel it like it's just burning its way up, and you're like, why am I so raging about an indicator? But yeah, that's another really nice perimenopausal symptom. I hope it continues to stay in, because so far it has not erupted, because it's like I said, it's just not me. I don't erupt in anger. Because why would you? I'm going to just talk about 2 movies that I've watched this week. I watched Captain America Brave New World, and I really, really did not want to like this movie. Mostly because I am a massive Captain America fan. The Chris Evans version. It's nothing to do with race. It's just that Captain America, I mean, we named our dog Cap. He was called Captain Rogers. We called the dog Captain Rogers because we were big Captain America fans. So with Marvel kind of moving into this new era, I can't remember what they call it. It's not an era. I'm ashamed of myself that I don't know. Phase, maybe? Phase. With now Falcon becoming Captain America, I really, really did not want to like this movie. And I hate watched it for the first hour, maybe. Like proper hate watched it. But by the end of it, I kind of liked it. Marvel, you've been kind of letting me down for the last couple of years, and with all the stuff on Disney Plus and all those kind of things that my poor wee perimenopausal brain cannot keep track of. I don't know why Daredevil is in Loki or Hawkeye, or I don't understand. I didn't read the comics. You gotta keep it simple for me. But with Captain America Brave New World, Indiana Jones became massive and red and was raging. It's like what happens to me in perimenopause. Red Hulk, partly. He was able to keep his in for a while. Maybe I hope that's not a metaphor for what's going to happen with me. Well, it depends really what people do. Because she's in there. She-Hulk is in there. So yeah. So Captain America Brave New World, I kind of liked it. Right, I started a film 2 days ago, and I haven't finished this film. It is it's questionable whether I actually will finish this film. So the film is called Mickey 17, and it stars Robert Pattinson. So it just came out on Max over here, and I thought, I think I'm gonna watch that. Now, it kind of looked like it was quite funny in any of the kind of the clips that you'd seen of it. Basically, the premise is that they now have, it's way in the future. They now live in different planets and it takes like 4 years to get to these planets. So they're living on spaceships and things like that. And they're going to look for other planets to live on. This is a really quick synopsis. But people have to sign up to go in these spaceships. There's only specific numbers, but you can sign up for the things that you want to do, and then they find a place for you. So he signs up to be an expendable. It's pretty explanatory, isn't it? and expendable. So basically what happens is that they send him out to like see if the planet is hospitable, if there's something that may be dangerous to human life. The expendable gets sent to do it, and if they die, they print him again. So he like is printed, and then they put his memories all back into his head, from everything that, like, all the times that he's died before. It sounds so stupid as I'm telling you it. Kind of is stupid, also kind of weird, also kind of not sure if I'm going to watch the rest of it. So if I should watch the rest of it, leave a comment, because maybe it's really good and I should finish it, and that it's going to turn around, and that poor Mickey, sorry if my brain just went, oh Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey Mickey, I'm sorry, it's there. If you don't do that, you certainly were not born in and around the 80s, or were a child in the 80s. So I can't say the word Mickey without doing that. Anyway, squirrel. So that is me for today. Oh, what a random one. It was random. If you have made it to the end, my goodness, you are amazing. Thank you. I really enjoy chatting with you. I really enjoy getting these videos done and putting them out every week. I hope you guys are doing well, and that you're enjoying this weather if you can. If we could just bring the temperature down just a little. I'm really good at like 27, 28 is like, it is just the sweet spot. So I'm kind of hoping that we head into that in the coming weeks. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Anyway, I'm going to chat with you again next week. I hope to put out a few shorts in between that time. But again, if you enjoyed my ramble today, I would love it if you would subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell so that you do not miss out on any of my episodes as I upload them. But anyway, I hope you have a great night, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.